going on, guys? It's Girthix. You requested a level 3 skiller guide for Sulliuscep mushrooms. So I went ahead for this. I've marked all tiles that we do not need to stand on. This is on Runelight. I've also marked our vines, and I've marked the tar bubbles, which will spawn into tar monsters eventually. To get started, setup wise, do not wear what I'm wearing. I just wore this as I was out in the Fashionscape world. You need a crush weapon or a pound weapon. For me, I brought the level 3 skiller Abyssal Whip. Things you do actually want to wear is the regen bracelet. It's going to heal up 2 HP instead of 1. I wear my dig site pendant for quick tellies to fossil. And the bear head, you're not going to lose it on death here, but it does give great defensive stats. Other than that, inventory wise, you're going to want food you can eat together as cake or chocolate cake. These have 3 bites. The Guthix Rest is going to be your best option. It takes you up to 15 HP. And if you can't get that, use Cereburst, and that'll take you up to 12 HP. We're going to need an axe, a rake, and also poison resistance. I like to use Antidote Plus. It gives you 12 minutes of poison resistance rather than the 5 minutes from Super Anti-Poison. We also need hoop snakes. While this guy's here, you're going to want to stun them. This is why we need the crush object or weapon. We stun these, and you can also bank these if you want. If you want to go ahead and fill up an inventory and take it to the bank, just to have them on deck. But if you haven't unlocked your teleport system on Fossil Island, the way to get to the first tree is as follows. You're going to live off these hoop snakes. They're going to be your lifeline. You want to use it. Right click on your tar bubble and use it on the tar bubble. It's going to spawn it, but it's going to be passive. It's only going to be passive for roughly like 7-8 seconds, I say. Couldn't find an exact time on Wiki. During that time, move past it. You can do this to multiple tar monsters at a time. Like I said earlier, all the tiles marked are tiles you do not want to stand on. Spawn mushrooms, when attacked, they hit 10 every single time, no matter what. I like to stock up on these hoop snakes as we go so we don't run out. I like to use the hoop snakes because they spawn across the course. Food does not, so if I can get them on the course, that means I could stay, do multiple rounds, better XP, and more fossils. These spawn mushrooms are also poison. This is why we need the Antidote Plus. And if you have not eaten and it hits, you will die. It has to be above 10 HP. Like I said, it hits 10 every single time. Be quick after you've pause these tar monsters. Like I said, you can do it on multiple at a time. Don't walk close to them because they will spawn, and as soon as they spawn, they fire, and they can hit up to an 11. So here we're at our first tree. I like to keep 6 of these on me during the first session of them. Go ahead and use your magic mush tree if you haven't unlocked your system, and you'll use the Sticky Swamp teleport to get back here. The first tree will cut. Once this depletes, you have to move to the next tree, which is the worst tree to get to and get out of. But we have hoop snakes, so we should be fine. Use your hoop snake again. We're going back. And if you go ahead and click on the Sulliuscep itself after you've used your hoop snake on these, it'll take you the route to the easiest route to the mushroom itself. With this, there's no definite way to go under it without getting hit, but the route exactly underneath it, or the tile closest to it, is the safest way, but you still have a chance of getting hit, so don't risk going under it without being above 10 HP. The XP per hour is pretty good. It's 60 to 70 KXP per hour. It's best in game for non-tick manipulated woodcutting, and it is the best way to get fossils on Fossil Island. From here, instead of, I'm not going to sit and cut all these. Once it depletes, you have to move to the next tree. The next tree is going to be further up to the north. So we're going to use one more hoop snake. Try to save at least one. You need at least one for when we get up to the third tree. After that, we can get a few more up there. They spawn up there. Let's see, I've moved too quick. He is passive, but I spawned him before the hoop snake hit him. This is the tar monster I was talking about that we'll need our hoop snake for, but they spawn over here, so we'll be fine on restocking on those. Just spam them, but be careful as they move. They will take you underneath the spawn mushrooms, so don't chase them. Make sure to click off if you haven't stunned it yet. I've marked these to not stand on. The easiest way to get to it is if you just click on the mushroom itself. It'll take you the route to the mushroom without getting hit. Do not stand underneath and take the risk of getting hit, especially if they're bouncing. Onto the fourth mushroom. Between the third and fourth and fifth, you only have 2 tar monsters left. Actually, we only have 1 now, so we won't need to keep stocked up on these. So we can just cut and save inventory space for the mushrooms, so we don't have to keep clearing the inventory every few seconds. From here, this will be our last tar monster to deal with for this round. So you can actually release this guy. We don't need him, and we can restock on them because they spawn all over the place up here. But the next tree is going to be this tree to the left. You'll cut here, and then once that depletes, this is our final tree. Once this cuts and depletes, it goes back to the first tree. So instead of having to walk all the way back through, we can take the rubber cap mushroom, but unless you filled it up with non-mushroom caps, do not take it. It will deal at least 40 damage. You will not make it. You can buy those mushrooms on the G if you want and go ahead and bring them for that first trip through, or you can just grab them as you're cutting the first round. Or you can also, now that we've unlocked the tele system, if you have your Fossil Island unlocked on dig site, you can just tele back, use our magic tree and hit 3, and we're back at the first mushroom. It's super quick, super easy. As long as you rely on hoop snakes, you shouldn't even have to eat. I had to take 1 drink of Guthix Rest that entire time we went through. It's simple. Don't rush it.